Hello everyone, I'm back for part 2 of my 70th anniversary tribute speech to Godzilla called Godzilla, a pop culture icon, a metaphor of nuclear weapons, the king of the monsters, and my childhood hero. So, picking up where we left off, where Godzilla got his own star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and saying fans across the globe celebrating the monumental moment in Godzilla's long reign as King of the Monsters. Now we kick off from there. Fans, along with the people of Toho and Japan, were filled with pride and joy at the monster who they invited into their lives had finally earned the biggest milestone in the history of Godzilla. I may have mentioned all this before in my beloved Godzilla speech, but the truth has always stared us in the face ever since Godzilla rose from the depths in 1954. Godzilla was destined for greater and wonderful things. Godzilla has a special place in the Guinness World of Records book, where they rightfully hailed the Godzilla franchise as the longest running movie series based on a giant monster. As of 2024, when I mentioned earlier, Godzilla has a total of 38 films, 33 from Japan and 5 from the United States. And I know Godzilla will keep on coming back in more new movies yet to come in the future. Godzilla continues to rampage on our movie screens and TV screens to some extent, and into our hearts ever since he made his mark in 1954. Godzilla is without a doubt one of the most recognizable symbols of Japanese popular culture. Even if someone who hasn't ever seen his movies, you show them a picture of a gigantic dinosaur towering over a city, people will instantly recognize it as Godzilla. It doesn't matter what country you come from, there's always a way for people to cross the great Godzilla's path, and at some point fall in love with him no matter where they are in the world. To this day, Godzilla remains an important facet of Japanese and sci-fi films, embodying the Kaiju subset of the tokusatsu genre. Tokusatsu is Japanese for special effects. And if it hadn't been for the success of Godzilla, we would not have gotten movies such as Mothra or Rodan, or Japanese superheroes like Ultraman. Now, Godzilla's vaguely humanoid appearance and strained, lumbering movements endeared him to worldwide audiences who could relate to Godzilla as a sympathetic character despite his wrathful nature. Audiences respond positively to the character because he acts out of rage and self-preservation and shows where science and technology can go wrong if used unwisely. Godzilla represents the Japanese fear of radiation and is also a victim of nuclear warfare, just like the unfortunate victims of the two Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and along with the crew of the fishing boat Lucky Dragon in number 5 earlier in that 1954, that same year. The late great Ishiro Honda once said, "Monsters are tragic beings. They are born too tall, too strong, too heavy. They are not evil by choice. That is their tragedy." You see, here, Godzilla is not strictly a terrifying monster out to harm or kill humans and destroy cities. Many people seem to either forget this or ignore it, instead choosing to want Godzilla to be terrifying and destroying property for the whole time. The movies bring out many places where one could have sympathy for him, such as when he is shown roaring and experiencing pain and suffering at the end of the 1954 film. And furthermore, Godzilla attacks out of hatred and anger towards mankind for their arrogance, their recklessness, and irresponsible use of science and technology. Basically, Godzilla is an innocent creature that didn't ask to be a monster or want to be a monster that he has become. Godzilla poor Godzilla was resting at the bottom of the sea and was then hit by an atomic bomb and mutated into the super monster. Now it seems as if Godzilla was created for a reason, to show the world and remind mankind just how small they really are compared to Godzilla and basically every other giant monster. Godzilla is basically teaching mankind a lesson, a very valuable lesson, a lesson that reminds us that no one will ever win in a nuclear war, and that the dark side of nuclear weapons is that they will only bring death and destruction to Earth. Because in a nuclear war, everyone is a victim and there are no winners. Let that sink in and remind us the very important lessons for future generations, to teach the future generations, and show the world that Godzilla is not evil, but an innocent and tragic and misunderstood animal that became a victim of mankind's foolishness. You can imagine this: the atomic bomb dropped on Godzilla. The atomic bomb injured and transformed Godzilla, causing blisters to form on his outer skin and horribly disfiguring him. Not to mention, the salt water would have caused him insufferable pain. And also, the world Godzilla was reawakened to was far different from the world he left behind, and that none of what he went through and experienced was his fault. We humans created the atomic bomb, and the atomic bomb made Godzilla. So basically, to quote Captain Barnes from Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, this is Godzilla's home, we just live in it. So, in this case, the entire world is Godzilla's home now, even though it's changed over the hundreds of millions of years. I believe Godzilla has told and given us an incredibly powerful story about life, and to ensure peace, and to remind us about the history of nature and war colliding. And that is something we should be thankful to Godzilla for. And we should also be thankful to the men who created Godzilla and made Godzilla who he is today. I believe now is the time for me to tell everyone my feelings and connection to this majestic titan that has lasted for 70 years and continues to remain relevant and manages to grow strong as the years go by. And in fact, that Godzilla, our Godzilla, is truly the monster that will never die. That Godzilla's journey is far from over. To me, Godzilla is more than a pop cultural icon, more than a movie monster, and more than a friend. I see Godzilla as a close member of the family who has taught me the valuable lessons in life. A family member who has made me happy whenever I felt lonely or down or struggling. Godzilla showed me how to be brave and confident, and how to stand up to myself, and showed confidence whenever I felt scared or insecure. You see, I imagine my Godzilla toys housed the soul of Godzilla, who stood guard ready to fight off any intruder and to reassure me that I am safe and that the G-Man will protect me. Godzilla and I have a strong connection, a strong bond, a bond that can never be broken, and I bet many other Godzilla and Kaiju fans feel the same way that I do. Of course, you all know I'm not the only person in the world who has a bond and a great knowledge and understanding and love for such an awesome and iconic monster like Godzilla. There are many others out there. No monster in pop culture will ever surpass the origins, nor the incredible story of the creation that led to the birth of Godzilla. Godzilla continues to remain relevant and capture the hearts of millions. The impact and inspiration and the legacy Godzilla has had on people and future filmmakers is unparalleled. And let's not forget the numerous awards Godzilla himself has received, including 2 special awards that would make any movie monster cry with envy: a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and MTV's Lifetime Achievement Award. Godzilla is an awe-inspiring and wonderful gift given, and it's thanks to the Japanese who gave us a very special creature for us to fall in love and idolized, and to have cherished memories that will last for a lifetime. I'm very proud to call myself a devoted fan of the most incredible and glorious creature that ever existed on a silver screen. And I'm grateful for that, along with the millions and millions of fans across the globe. I love Godzilla with all my heart and soul. And I also have 2 wishes that one day I hope will come true. First, I would love to take a trip to Japan and visit the birthplace of my childhood icon. And second, I would be thrilled to attend G-Fest, which is a special event that brings Kaiju fans from across the world to buy special merchandise and meet the people who've played a role in the Godzilla series, and share and talk with other fans about Godzilla and Japanese sci-fi. These are my 2 special wishes, and I cannot wait for the day for them to come true. Godzilla is a big part of my life and has made a huge impact on me, and I'm really happy to be part of an incredible legacy that has lasted for an astounding 70 years. I love Godzilla, and my passion and enthusiasm for the Kaiju Aiga will never fade. Godzilla is a legendary icon that no movie monster can ever top or hope to match the incredible story of our radioactive Titan. Godzilla is my hero. Godzilla is the stuff of which legends are made. He is a monster of dreams and nightmares. Godzilla is a legend. There is no monster that will ever get as big as Godzilla in terms of his impact on pop culture and the achievements he has made. You really cannot argue with the fact that Godzilla and all the people behind his creation have truly touched the lives of millions and millions of people around the world. The world is a better place because of them. Because of them, they have made life worth living. Godzilla has made life worth living. And I cannot be thankful enough to be a loyal fan to Godzilla and to be a part of a legacy that will last forever, for generations to come. Godzilla is destined to walk the earth forever. Happy 70th birthday, Godzilla. Thank you for a lifetime of awesome memories to cherish, and many more, and to go on many kaiju-sized adventures yet to come. And another special thing about me and Godzilla, and I know there are lots of other Godzilla fans who feel the same as me, Godzilla and I are kindred spirits. We all have a special connection to Godzilla, because Godzilla is inside each one of us. Now is the time to finish up, because I believe I've written more than enough about Godzilla, a pop culture icon, a metaphor of nuclear weapons, the king of the monsters, and our childhood hero. Happy 70th birthday, Godzilla. And in the words of Charles Dance from Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, long live the king. Thank you, everyone, for listening to my 70th anniversary tribute speech. It took a lot of work, and I have to say I'm proud of how it turned out. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you all continue to celebrate Godzilla's legacy for many years to come, and to keep being roarsome. So thank you all, and happy birthday, Godzilla.